right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku. It's precisely 6:38 p.m. in Nigeria, also in the city of Lagos. That's basically where we are airing from. I would implore you to join us virtually. We are currently streaming on YouTube at VOP 903 FM. So go into your Android or Apple device, go onto your YouTube application. On the search bar of your YouTube, type 9T.3 FM and you'll see us streaming live. On the search bar there, you'll see the red button which indicates that we're currently streaming live. On the political spotlight, we look at issues across Nigeria's political landscape. We look at permutations. We try to dissect, analyze conspiracy theories. We look at the political trajectory in the country. Whether we like it or not, we do need to realize that politics forms the communal opinion. Politics forms our lifestyle. Politics forms our activities. Politics gives us an idea of what is going on and how some political implementation can affect our day-to-day activities. So basically, that's what we do here on the political spotlight. We give you topical issues that we need to basically comprehend, and then we have our analyst or those who have their expertise in political affairs who gives us their own opinion or perception and give us, viable instances. And obviously we get to your recommendation in the course of the program. Today, I want us to introspect. I want us to introspect on some things that were said when this administration came on board. Now, I don't want anybody to consider this as any form of personal attack. In May 29, in a few days in this month, the president's first half of his administration will definitely be looked into. All right, a couple of judgments will be made, critique will be done. What he said during the campaign, what he said on the 29th of May 2023, what he said on October 1st, Independence Day in 2023, and most of the things that were said then. What now? What exactly has been accomplished now in all the things that were said? And we need to also ask, at what point will Nigerians stop bearing the consequences of the actions of the political bureaucrats? And when will these political bureaucrats, who are the cause of the problems in this country, begin to bear the consequences of their actions? These are the things that we're looking into today. So I'm going to start off with a massive investigation taking place within the NNPC, and I will not lie to you, I don't even foresee anything beyond whatever it is that the EFCC is currently doing. The NNPC has been embroiled, or will I say has been a cesspool of corrupt activities where the natural resource of the nation, that is our natural resource, is being shared by a couple of bigwigs or oligarchs or certain persons. And at the end of the day, we don't see any auditing. Nobody gives us any form of accountability. Nobody tells us what money is used for, what money goes in and comes out, who was given what contract. We don't get to feel the benefit of that particular organization. It almost feels like the organization is for a certain clan of people, and the whole Nigerian should even be off the name of NNPC, because I don't understand what benefit Nigerians are getting out of it. So let me start off with the fact that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has intensified its probe into alleged financial mismanagement at the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. They're zeroing in on the $2.96 billion allocated for the repair of Nigeria's moribund refineries. I will not lie to you. A couple of persons will say that this is where I would refer to Barrister Darlington not having any positive thing to say about the administration, because I'm wondering why $2.96 billion was allocated to moribund refineries. We were told that these supposed moribund refineries have begun operations and now they are being investigated by the EFCC. Multiple arrests have already been made, with several former managing directors of the Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna refineries reportedly under investigation. A top EFCC spoke to correspondents and he revealed that investigators had traced substantial sums of money to private accounts linked to former NNPCL officials. Now, according to what this EFCC official is saying, the investigation is advancing rapidly and uncovers a wide scope. Okay, we have uncovered compelling evidence of significant misappropriation of funds, including large sums traced to the personal accounts of former officials. Now, let's not pretend that we don't know this has been in existence from time immemorial, that particular organization has been set up All right. Okay. The focus of the investigation includes $1.56 billion earmarked for Port Harcourt refinery, $740 million for Kaduna refinery, and $657 million for Warri refinery. The EFCC is said to be working closely with the NNPCL to obtain financial records and interview key witnesses as it tracks the flow of the funds and prepares for more arrests in the coming days. Although rumors are circulating about the possible questioning of the immediate past NNPCL CEO, Mele Kyari, it remains unclear as of press time whether he appeared, or rather whether he has appeared before the commission. I recall that this is not the first time that probes have gone into the NNPC, but we haven't gotten any result from that probe. And so while the sweep of arrest or investigation is taking place, I will not be surprised if names will not be named, if some certain persons will just remit some money and then it's swept under the carpet. So, but let's see how the EFCC wants to work with this. Now, I want you guys to recall in 2023, when the president did a broadcast, I think it was on October 1, after the May 29 handover. On October 1st, Independence Day, the president had to explain the reason why subsidy had to be removed. In that live broadcast, the president explained that certain persons were benefiting from that subsidy removal and not the entirety of Nigerians, and that it was very painful, but it was essential for subsidy to be removed. And he made some promises. The promises was the monies that will be obtained from the removal of fuel subsidy will basically be rediverted or rechanneled into viable sectors of the Nigerian economy, sectors that have suffered a lot, which he mentioned: transportation, production, and infrastructure. I want to play that particular audio out so we can hear the president himself make that statement. It's very imperative because I have where I am going and there are certain questions that need responses. This will help us understand why we are now hearing that the EFCC is investigating the NNPCL. More than 200 arrests have been made so far, most from the CEO's administration, that is Mele Kyari, the former CEO, and other CEOs, and how monies of Nigerians have been personalized and sent to persons' private accounts. A lot of this will be uncovered in the course of the conversation, but I want us to listen to our dear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his broadcast 1 year ago.
I have consistently maintained the position that the fuel subsidy had to go. This once beneficial measure had outlived its usefulness. The subsidy cost us trillions of naira yearly, such as a vast sum of money would have been better spent on public transportation, health care, school, housing, and even national security. Instead, it was being funneled into the deep pocket and lavish bank account of a selected group of individuals. This group had amassed so much wealth and power that they became a serious threat to the fairness of our economy and the integrity of our democratic governance. To be blunt, Nigeria could never become the society it was intended to be as long as such small, powerful, yet unelected groups hold enormous influence over our political economy and the institutions that govern it. The whims of the few should never hold dominant sway over the hopes and aspirations of the many. If we are to be a democracy, the people and not the power of money must be sovereign. The preceding administration saw this looming danger as well. Indeed, it made no provision in the 2023 appropriation for subsidy after June this year. Removal of this once helpful device that had transformed into a millstone around the country's neck had become inevitable. Also, the multiple exchange rate, the system that had been established became nothing but a highway of currency speculation. It diverted money that should have been used to create jobs, build factories, and businesses for millions of people. Our national wealth was doled out on favorable terms to a handful of people who had been made filthy rich simply by moving money from one hand to another. This too was extremely unfair and is not acceptable. It also compounded the threat that the illicit and mass accumulation of money posed to the future of our democratic system and its economy. I had promised to reform the economy for the long-term good by fighting major imbalances that has plagued our economy.
Okay, so this was the president's broadcast, all right, about a year ago, when he needed to excessively explain the reason why it was important that fuel subsidy was removed. Now, Nigerians had no problem because in 2012, the same, idea to remove fuel subsidy came up during GEJ, that's Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration. Obviously, the president, as an opposition at the time, screamed against it, and subsidy was retained. Now, I want you to listen to something. In the 2024 budget, especially in 2023 before 2025, I think in June, July, the preceding budget would elapse. So the current budget would not include any subsidy payment. That is, there was no subsidy in the new budget available to be paid for petrol. Okay? Now, I also want you to bear in mind that all the presidential presidential candidates also promised to remove fuel subsidy. But however, they did not tell us how they were going to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal, when they come on board. The president did that immediately. He has admitted that removal of fuel subsidy announcement on May 29 was not part of the script, but he said it was important for him to do that then. Now, if you had listened to what the president said, he said the fuel subsidy was being mismanaged, was being diverted, that certain elites were the ones enjoying the benefits of that for the well-being of the nation and to create a balance in the distribution of wealth that needed to be removed. Now, I want to ask, please, 2 years after that removal of fuel subsidy, has it eased transportation? Has it eased the cost of living? Has it eased business operations? Because this was basically the reason what he said, that this was going to help other sectors that were deficient, that were not actually given attention to financially. Removal of the subsidy and money saved from it will be diverted to that sector. Last year, we heard that 5.7 trillion naira, or possibly more than now, was saved from the subsidy removal. So, was it rediverted for transportation? Was it rediverted for social welfare? Was it rediverted to the health sector? These are the questions we need to understand, and this is what we need to ask. It's very, very imperative that we look critically into this. And I remember I told you when I started the program, we're not castigating anybody, but we need to make a correct reflection of what was said then and what is currently happening now. Why should Nigerians suffer the consequences of these supposed elites who have eaten the nation dry? Why is it that such persons who are supposedly known by the federal government, why don't they refund the money that is the subsidy money that they have eaten? Why don't they refund it? Why should the common average Nigerian, who literally actually depends on Gary being 50 naira or relies on transportation being as cheap as 100 naira or 200 naira or possibly even 150, why should they be the one to bear the brunt of what a supposed few elites have done? That's the big question. How do we know that these few elites are still not enjoying the system? How do we know that they're still not enjoying the malay and the anomaly that has been in operation and seems to be a modus operandi for years on? How do we also know that this removal of fuel subsidy has taught them any lesson at all? But meanwhile, the average and common Nigerian are bearing the consequences of these policies that has little or no effect on those who supposedly are the reason for the removal of this fuel subsidy. These are questions that we need to ask ourselves, and it's very imperative, like I told you. Now, the EFCC is starting off investigations, but we know sometimes how this goes, okay? Sometimes we don't get any report, we don't hear anything afterwards. We just know that something came up, this was what was thought about, but then at the end of the day, they don't give us a detailed report of their investigation. Which brings me back to Sadia Umar Farouk, the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, and Betta Edu, who also took up that position before she was taken off it. The National Association of NPOWER Beneficiaries has appealed to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to release the full findings of its investigations into alleged corruption within the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. Now, the public attention on the ministry intensified after there was widespread allegations of financial misconduct, prompting demands for transparency and accountability. Despite initiating investigations several months ago, the EFCC has not made its report concerning former Ministers of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk and Betta Edu public. The probe also uncovers the former National Social Investment Program Agency coordinator Halima Shehu and contractor James Okwete. In a letter dated May 2nd, 2025, obtained recently by Sahara reporters and addressed to the EFCC chairman, they stress that the agency should make its findings public, citing their significance to national development and public confidence. The letter was signed by Bashir Laden, National Secretary of NAM, and on behalf of the National President, they're emphasizing that open governance is essential to Nigeria's democracy. You see what I said, that despite the floss or the sweep of clearance taking place in the NNPC, we may not even hear the actual result or how the investigation is going or a breakdown of what they found out. We may not even get to know the names of these persons who were former bosses or employees of the NNPC who had diverted funds to themselves. Now let's take our minds back. Sadia Umar Farouk at some point told us that they were going to give monies to the vulnerable Nigerians, that is unbanked Nigerians. I want you to remember that she made this statement. It was based on the COVID-19 palliative, The COVID-19 palliative was to target rural communities who may not have access to food. I think that was about $700 and something or $700 and something million at the time. And we did not get an account of how that money was utilized, how that money spread across, what rural communities benefited from it, what names actually. We didn't get any data, nothing. Now, when Betta Edu's incident happened, the EFCC wrote a letter to Sadia Umar Farouk, invited her to their office for questioning. This woman let them in the office for 24 hours. The EFCC did not go to her house with their operatives, break her door, and put a bag over her head. They didn't handcuff her. We did not hear anything. The following day, she wrote a letter to them telling them that she was not feeling fine and she was not available, despite she receiving a letter a while ago that she was meant to appear before the EFCC to account for the monies within her jurisdiction that were supposedly meant for vulnerable Nigerians. That was what happened. Up till now, we didn't hear anything. We don't know if the EFCC wrote another petition. We don't know if they sued her to court. We don't know what other findings were done, but that place is silent. That particular access is silent. The next thing too was about the Betta Edu, with the whole situation of monies being sent to a personal account, about 500 billion or million naira, to a particular UBA account or so. Now, this is what happened after the EFCC said they had made their investigation. We didn't hear what happened. What did you find out? The only thing we knew was that later Betta Edu was no longer given that position. We've not heard anything from her. She's gone silent. Again, these are the sweeping corruptions being experienced from time immemorial, not just peculiar to this administration, even the previous administration whose tripod was on fighting or routing out corruption. It's a very huge thing that we're looking into here. Now, bear in mind that for Sadia Umar Farouk, for Yahaya Bello, despite the EFCC's invitation, nothing happened. There was no aggressive attitude towards them. Until Very Dark Man, as you know him as a critic. Now, I wouldn't want to mention him, but the reason is that he was supposedly taken up when he went to the bank. He went to the bank to withdraw some money for his mother to do some transactions. I helped the mother because she had issues with a particular bank's account. I don't want to mention the name of the bank. Now, when he was about to leave the premises, that was when he was taken away. Before it was confirmed that it was EFCC, he was taken away like a common criminal. He was beaten up along with a friend. So Does the practice of the EFCC not is it not balanced? What I mean is, for example, for a normal Nigerian, you'll be treated like a criminal even when no court of accurate jurisdiction has sentenced you or convicted you as a criminal, right? But for political elites, whom we know very well that they were involved in those financial malfeasance, they are invited. Some of them are even given special access to the office of the EFCC boss to respond to questions. They're treated so well, so beautifully, with regard and human dignity. I want us to take a very brief listen to one of the, I think the brother of Very Dark Man, describing what transpired after his brother was taken away by the EFCC at a particular bank that he went to visit concerning his mother.
GT Bank, I'm so disappointed because you played a role in the kidnapping of my brother today. You played a very, very, very important role because from the moment Very Dark Man got to the bank, you gave the information out that Very Dark Man was in the bank. You the same bank. You the same bank we say you come on money from my mother account. They try me, they find we rectify and peacefully. We no fight now. We came to the bank. Only for you people claiming to be helping us, you went ahead and did your communication with whosoever you did your communication with. And after that, when VDM was done and about to leave your bank, you locked him in your door. When I mean door, now know that door, if you enter bank, you press your green button, where you go open, where you go enter. As soon as they come outside, they lock him inside that place for 5 to 10 minutes. First off, he's not a criminal. He no get anything we don't do now. Only for una to come there, cover his face like thief. Cover his face, come beat him, carry him, go. You beat the guy, eat my mama. Like I don't understand, waiting on our agenda. We they complain for kidnapping every time. Now the same way this kidnapping they happen, now the same thing I just do. Like, because fine, people they set people up for kidnapping. GT Bank set up my brother so that they'll come carry him from their bank. GT Bank, what is your agenda? Are you trying to dodge what you're doing? Or are you trying to protect your staffs? Because I see no reason why I would come to your bank and open an account. I'll give you my NIN for you to enroll me in your bank. And after all of this, you come back and tell me you said someone used my NIN to take loan from your bank. Who is that someone? GTB Bank. So you can't defend that. You went ahead and planned for the kidnapping of my brother.
Now, so this is a brother of Very Dark Man who obviously was explaining what happened, but actually blaming the bank where the brother went to sort out some issues for the mom. But it was at the entrance that the brother was taken away, and currently we hear that he is within the EFCC custody. Their claims, the family members are claiming that they're not giving him access, they're not allowing his friends access to him or even for him to get food. So I'm wondering what will happen to Umar Farouk. I'm wondering what is going on with Yahaya Bello, because still up to now the case is still quiet, even if the case is in court, and the case as well with Beta Edu and a couple of other anomalies that we'll say there's a time constraint for us to focus on. All right, these issues, we're looking into it as well. Now, guess what? There is a major dynamic going on within the Labour Party, and I don't want to give out my personal opinion, but with what is going on, there is a very strong belief that Peter Obi may not actually remain with the Labour Party. So let me give you an instance of why I am actually saying so. A very strong ally of the 2023 presidential candidate, what's his name, Obi Oselo Kalbazi, has resigned his party membership from the Labour Party. He is one of the staunch, obedient movement leaders. Now, he was also a former United Nations diplomat, was a secretary to the Anambra government under Peter Obi when he was a governor, and worked closely with him as an advisor and chieftain of the party until his resignation. Now, what was Obaze's reason for leaving the Labour Party? He cited the leadership crisis in the Labour Party at the national level and the refusal of leaders leaders of the party to harmonize or reconcile the Julius Abure and Senator Nanadi Usman factions. And I want you to know that this factionalization within the Labour Party has rendered the party moribund, literally diluted the efficacy of that party, a party that was a major contender in 2023, a party that made the All Progressives Congress literally quake. A lot of doubters who did not believe that that party would actually sustain the temporary deed. I don't know whether the Labour Party is going into extinction. But the internal crisis in the party has cast a lot of doubt, a shadow, a dark shadow across the minds of strong followers of that political party. I'm sure you know that the Obedient Movement now have acquired their membership cards across every zone, both in Nigeria and even those outside the country. Now, we don't know what this means. If they want to register this as a political party, if they want to merge with another political party, nobody knows yet. But based on a recent interview that was conducted by Rufai Seni for Arise Television, Alex Otti was able to affirm to the doubters that he's still with the Labour Party, he is not defected, and that they've taken over the leadership of the party. He gave an assurance that regardless of how things are in terms of, just the protocol as it is, that the party is in good hands and the management is okay. But let's take a listen to Julius Abure's claim. He really actually had a lot to say against Peter Obi and Alex Otti.
I believe that we have explained very clearly why we believe that coalition for 2027 will not work. You may think that you have a lot of time. I believe that by the end of this year, INEC will release its guideline or will release the timetable for the 2027 general election. If coalition will work by now, you should see it. The dominant character in the political scene that you want to build alliance around have no capacity, have no character, have no competence to drive the process of that coalition. I give you a classical example. Leaders who cannot unite their own party, one party, they cannot be a unifier of their party. How can they drive a process that will bring all other political parties together, where they will, those parties will concede their identity? Probably you are not seeing the implication of a coalition. You concede your identity, submit your form, your certificate, you concede your leadership, and subsume to the new party. Tell me today, which of the dominant aspirants has that clout, has that capacity to bring PDP, for instance, Labour Party, for instance, and say, let's collapse and move with one, when they cannot unite their own party? Let us be frank. You know, Nigerians don't like truth. The truth is bitter, but Labour Party will also say it. That's why they are criticizing us, because at every point in time, whether it's my secretary here, whether it's my deputy chairman, whoever does the wrong thing, we will say so, because we believe in the spirit of new Nigeria, and we believe that it is only the truth that can bring us to new. Pretentious behavior, pretentious attitude will not take us there. Hypocrisy won't lead us there. It's only truth that can take us there. Perfect. Number 3, third question has to do with that Papa, you can see that it's a mockery of all the process. And you know, some people are just they are comedians, some people are jesters. And for those of you who read classical history, if you look at classical literature, at every point in time in a novel or in a play, especially a serious-minded business, there will always be time where there is comic relief. Yes, in literature we call it comic relief. For those of you who did literature, comic relief, the leadership of the party. This leadership have been very magnanimous, We have been very patient. We have expressed a lot of maturity in handling some of the rascals that we accommodated in our party. And I think it got to a fall today with that interview, and we felt that it's appropriate, most appropriate at this point in time, to respond to him so that he doesn't think that he's the only one who can be in the gutter.
So, if you recall, there was an interview that was granted by Arise TV with Alex Oti, and Alex Oti literally called Julius Saburi. What did he call him? He said something about, masturbating with his ideals or something. He used that kind of term. Well, Julius Saburi has decided to also go dirty, and he actually called him derogatory names. So let's listen to Julius Saburi and what he said about Alex Oti.
First of the party. And rightly so, the Supreme Court said every matter that has to do with leadership and internal affairs and the domestic affairs of the party. And the party organs spoke loud and clear on the 27th of March 2024 at Inewi, where a national convention was held that brought in the leadership of the party. And therefore, for him to again be on national television today after they have moved themselves like crickets to INEC office, and I'm sure the media saw it, where a governor belittled himself, carried the CTC, because we've not seen governors before, because INEC have not seen governor, or because he think he can intimidate INEC and harass them by going to INEC to submit a CTC of a court judgment. The judge carried it like cricket and went to INEC. INEC is a civilized organization. INEC is an organization that believes in the rule of law that is guided by rules and regulations. And I want to say clearly that Oti is not a good representation of our party. We went to the street in 2023 to tell Nigerians that Labour Party are going to produce leaders that will be different. We told Nigerians that a new Nigeria is possible. And that was why Nigerians followed the party. And today, what are we getting? We are seeing the typical politicians that are there, who will treat party constitution with ignominy. If you cannot obey your party constitution, is it when you are the president of Nigeria or when you are a governor that you will not treat the constitution of Nigeria, the Electoral Act, and so on with impunity? If because you are governor, you can sit in Abia and say you have dissolved national executive, state executive, ward executive, local government unit executive. Even PDP, their most powerful days with all the governors, have never behaved with such an impunity. Even in APC that is in government today, have not behaved with such a high level of impunity. Labour Party believe that local government election should bring development to the people, should bring government to the people, should bring growth and development for the people. And Labour Party believes in it solely, that the purpose why we have on that development is the country is because our local governments are not allowed to work.
All right, that was Julius Saburi there, actually chastising and reacting to what Alex Oti said about him And another issue that we'll look into today, before I officially announce my guest, I will know some of you watching us on YouTube would have already seen his face right here in the studio. Dele Faratimi, in a very recent interview about a few days ago, has made a bold claim about Nigeria's political future, asserting that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has already predetermined the outcome of the 2027 general elections. And this was a statement he made in an exclusive interview. He says, Tinubu is not a man who leaves anything to chance. I warrant that the election result in 2027 is already written. We know that Faratimi is known for his outspokenness in criticizing Nigeria's governance structures, and he elaborated on the country's political transitions and power dynamics during the interview. His comments come amid growing concerns about the state of democracy in Nigeria, particularly following reports of systematic issues in the judiciary and electoral processes. Faratimi declared that the judiciary has failed Nigeria, a sentiment he reiterates in the interview, arguing that institutional failures enable political manipulation. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest this evening is Mr. Lawal Ekunday. Mr. Lawal Ekunday, happy Sunday to you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Come closer to the microphone. Okay. Mr. Lawal Ekunday, I started off with the rots within the NNPCL. And lately, there's been a sweep of arrest being done. The EFCC has told us that they have begun their investigations proper, and they found that some monies were diverted to personal accounts from the NNPCL, both with current administration and the previous one. But the question is that they usually don't tell us the outcome at the end of the day. They don't even tell us the name of these persons. So a lot of Nigerians feel that they may not be surprised that nothing comes out of it. I mean, critics reacting to this information when it actually came out. Now, I took us back to, I think, a year and a few months ago, when the president in his national broadcast had to reiterate and explain to Nigerians why the fuel subsidy removal was eminent and important. And my question was, why should the common Nigerian suffer for the consequences of a few political elites? That's one. Two, what is the benefit of the subsidy removal 2 years after? According to what the president said in that broadcast, he said there is an imbalance in the distribution of our natural resources. He also complained about the fact that the subsidy removal was pertinent because certain persons were the ones benefiting from it, and the subsidy that was for the common good of Nigerians were not feeling the impact, so it had to go. He said these monies were being rediverted to personal pockets, and they need to be rechanneled to other sectors that would enable a healthy or a wealthy economy. He mentioned transportation, he mentioned food production, he mentioned other sectors of the Nigerian economy. But 2 years down the line, after that broadcast, have we experienced anything else, anything better from what was said on that broadcast? You have succeeded in removing the subsidy, which obviously all the presidential candidates campaigned on, but you told us that you were going to utilize the monies from the subsidy to other viable sectors. So do we have transportation cheap? Do we have food, lifestyle, and social welfare easier? Are we attracting investors? Are entrepreneurs, actually happy with what that economic policy? Businesses, small scale businesses, are they thriving? I mean, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Companies that usually used to be, dormant in this place and contributed to employment in our labor force, are they still around with this particular policy that you said was going to re-strategize our economic trajectory? How do you react to this?
No. Which one should I start with?
No, it's all encompassing. It's in the same.
I'll start with the NNPC Limited.
This is about the NNPC actually. The removal of the subsidy.
Yes, let me start with that. We already know the song. It's because some people were protesting, and then that's why they started. They want to flash to us. That's why you see them arresting some people in the NNPC. That's why you see them arresting some people. As if they want to do something, because some people were seriously protesting that something must be done in that area because they've seen huge corruption, diversions of funds. So it was people who protested, and EFCC has no choice other than to try to do something, at least paint something for people so that it will look like they are going to do something. But eventually, we know that we know the old song. We know the old song. You get it? It's been going on. And it's been going on. See, this has been going on in NNPC. EFCC did not do anything until there's a people began to speak. So EFCC is a sleeper, Abi.
No, it started off during the administration of
Obasanjo
when he introduced EFCC. But we don't know how that's affected NNPC as a whole. The next thing we heard that they are now NNPCL. Last year we heard that they were supposed to present reports because we heard about what was going on within the NNPC. Mele Kyari now came out and said if he is to say what is going on, he doesn't even think that possibly the country will be existing. And then after he made that statement, he kept quiet. He said that for him, he has been transparent, he has been neutral, he has not invested or put his hand into anything, that if they want an auditing of all his activities while he's the CEO of NNPC, he would provide. But what about others working under you? Other ex-governors, other ex-presidents, or where you still have the president as a minister of petroleum, and you're seeing this overwhelming corruption take place. Nigerians' money, what they make from their natural resource is being siphoned and personalized by very few persons. So the big question is, are we surprised with this? What is the difference that this particular investigation will make? And all the things that were said by the president in that live broadcast, are we experiencing one or two or even three of what he promised as to when, if that money will be rechanneled to these viable sectors?
Well, what I'm first one, let me that EFCC and NNPC, because I know that that's just a flash for Nigerians. Nothing will come out of it. So that one is
you're not hopeful?
No. It's not.
They've already started. Well, the only
forget
thing
that. When did they start? Emefiele. They have not finished that one. You get what I'm saying? They have not finished the former Kogi state governor. They have not finished the humanitarian. There is a problem with the sale of the privatization of NEPA. You get it? That one's even obvious to the old world that is fraudulent, and they have not even done anything about that. So where do they want to start? The one they start, they have not finished. They are starting another one. You get it? Unfinished season of films.
So the president has begun moves to pay Genco's 4 trillion naira.
That's what we say that's what we are saying. You get it? That we know that place is a huge fraud, because we know how they charge Nigerians. I told you I have somebody's bill of 1 point something million in a year. I mean in a month, a flat. If one bill for a residential house, 1 point something million last year.
On the mainland or on the island?
Here in Ajawo Estate here now, which one are you telling me? Here in Ajawo, I'm not even talking about, I'm talking Ajawo here. A Mafoluku here, their bill is 100 and something thousand, 200 and something thousand, 100 and something, I see 100 and something thousand, close to that Akpakun side. And you are telling me you keep what are you subsidizing? Okay, that one we know that one is you get it. The EFCC will just flash us whatever they want to flash us, and then happy birthday. That's all. You know, when you do that Christmas light, everybody will say hey, and it's gone. You get it. Now let's come to subsidy. Some people say this and that and this. Now let me tell you something about subsidy. Even the country where the president went to tell them that he removed subsidy, they should give him an award. They are paying subsidy in that same country. You get their government in Germany. They are paying subsidy. China is paying on fuel, almost everything. Even in one country in Europe, I don't know, maybe it's Norway or Sweden. I think they are even subsidizing female sanitary pad. You go when you want to do your regular monthly period, you just go and pick your sanitary materials, and that's that. Government paid by the government. That's sanitary this thing by the government, the women. You get now in China, in almost all these countries they pay subsidy across board. You get it? In fuel, agriculture, education, mention it. It's a routine thing that the government is in fact it's one of their basic things they do to their citizens. Subsidizing everything. They take from the rich, put it into a system to make it easy for the common people. So it's like when people I don't understand. I don't understand when they say all these things, because it is what makes countries work. Subsidy is what makes a country to exist. They are paying it in they pay it in Dubai, they pay it in Saudi Arabia, they pay now. That is that. For removing it,
yes.
you get it.
My issue is that all the monies that have been saved from the removal, where is it?
I just want to.
Where is the cheaper transportation? Where is the cheaper access to healthcare? Where is the cheaper access to food?
You are not even saying what did they do with the money?
That is no. That
I mean, which account did the money go into?
I am basing this on the broadcast. The president had to explain to us the reason why it was important. It was necessary. It was a necessary thing he said to do. That certain persons were diverting these funds. My own question is, why me I go suffer for person where even if you come out them, you no go feel them? Why be say you know make that person suffer? Those people, you want them to say they don't know who them be? They don't know their names.
They already told you now that the government said that they saw that some people are illegally diverting. That means the government is aware of those who are diverting. They name them now. They bring them to book.
Tell them to
and then recover this money back.
Why am I suffering for it?
So why do you have to stop it? If you stop it, that means you are covering it up.
Okay, let's just assume that you needed to stop it, to punish those. It should be to punish those people.
You are punishing Nigeria. You are not.
But you are punishing the people. You are punishing the common man who relies on the. Do you know that subsidy will only receive the trickle of it? When I mean the trickle, like a drop, because if you see all the chain and process in the system and how certain persons will collect their own, collect before the beneficial effect of the subsidy go reach us with that now one drop. You can't comot the one drop, pata, as if now that one drop they make the significant change. So those people that you know, why not punish them? Why not prosecute them? Why not ask them to pay back that money? That's my question. And then subsidize food, subsidize healthcare, at least he's subsidizing education.
Where are they subsidizing education?
Well, it's starting off in May. It's starting
starting in May.
This May already, yes.
Okay.
He has signed the money for it.
Okay.
And the Now Fund also, that's part of the project as well, where he put out 100 billion naira, where ICPC told us that out of the 128 point something is what has been used, and that there was a massive corruption, and in the following day they told us that it was an error.
It's like corruption.
No, they told us it was an error the following day, that it was an error.
Okay,
that was what they told us, yes. The following day they said it was an error. That money that they said wasn't it, that it was an error. My issue is this: why am I suffering for the sins of someone else?
Because it's like maybe we should say corruption is ruling this country. Because if corruption is ruling, that means we can't remove it. Maybe the corruption is the one that is ruling this country. Because I don't understand when you say you see somebody who steals something, and you let the person go, and then you go and close your door. What about the thing that the person has stolen? Why not collect it back and put it into that room? You get it? Now you say you have seen that people are illegally diverting the resources, is benefiting few. Why not put things right so that it will now solve what is supposed to solve? And mind you, the reason why fuel subsidy was put in place was because of government lapses.
True.
That was the purpose of subsidy, government lapses, to cover up for government lapses so that people will not suffer seriously for government lapses. So that's why the subsidy was put in place. You get it? Now the government lapses has not been resolved, and you say you are removing subsidy. That means double punishment, like Fela would say, double wahala for dead body. So that is double punishment for the Nigerians. Why? Because the reason why the subsidy was put in place was because of government problem that the government could not solve. So they had to put that in place to cushion that problem, I mean the effect, until they are able to solve that problem. The problem is that Nigeria is not refining.
Okay.
That is the reason. Now, up to now, we still have that issue going on, and we are removing subsidy. Now, when will you say you will remove it, which we say is not even proper, it's not even right in democracy to remove subsidy, because the government is for the people and you use the money of the people for the people. So if you see any lapses, you get it, it's your duty as the head of government to fix it. That's why you are paid, that's why you are voted into office. So if you are not doing that, then what is the reason why you are there? These are the things. Now you now say, okay, you remove it. The question is, how much have we able to save from that subsidy now? We're supposed to have an account for it, and then where specially we'll be using the account for. You can't touch it because it's a special thing. It's not part of the budget. It's not part of the money you want to use for the budget. So it's supposed to be in a special account. This account is subsidy account that will remove. This month we have accumulated, we have realized we have saved 1 trillion. You get it? For the past 6 months, we have been able to save 12 trillion. For the past 1 year, we have been able to save 15 trillion. Then all this Calabar road you want to do, we'll just take money from that and use it. You get? Okay, we want to do Calabar to Lagos road. We need 6 trillion to do it. The money is coming from what we have saved from the subsidy. So from 12 trillion that we have saved, if you remove 6 trillion, we still have 6 trillion left, which you can still use for other projects. Do we have that? Do we? The thing is that we keep borrowing. Everything we borrow and we borrow and they borrow. The question is, what we have saved from this subsidy removal, what happened to that money? What happened to that money? We're supposed to have that money in a separate account. Now, there's somebody came on, a president came on board. He created this SS crude oil account. Do you remember that if we do a budget, our benchmark is $40 per barrel. If the oil get to 45, you know that is extra. It's not part of the budget. We need to keep it in SS crude oil account and use for something very, very special. You understand what I'm saying? Now, we have been having SS crude oil. Do we still have that account existing again? Now, we have two now. We have a subsidy removal savings account. We have SS crude oil savings account. Now, do you have all that? So, now, the government is crying. The reason why we remove it because some people are benefiting. Now the question is it not still merry-go-round? Is it not coming back to where we started from? Is it not the same where we started from? That same corruption. The reason why they remove subsidy, first subsidy, is because of corruption. Are we not circling back to the same corruption? You get it? Are we not circling to the same back to the same few people enjoying it? It's like Yoruba will say, "Ole gbe, ole gba." You understand that? In Yoruba, ole gbe Yoruba, ole gba. That means
go left.
Yes, a thief stole something. A thief collected it from that thief. You get it? You get it. Just as it changed out from one thief to another thief. That's what is my ole gbe. That means we are not getting anywhere.
Okay.
That's what it sounds. That's what Nigerians are expecting. That's why everything is so like this. That's why it's so like this. Now, we were told when Goodluck Jonathan was here that fuel is supposed to be less than 100 naira. Do you remember? It's still the same people in this administration that said a lot of things about that. And now, out of that Jonathan time, it was how much? Less than 100 naira. They said it's supposed to be like 50 naira. Now, in their own time, it entered 1,000 naira. So where are they taking us to? That's the question. What is their agenda? What's their policy? What is their what do I call it? Because some people say there's light at the end of the tunnel. Are you sure that there is no hole at the end of the tunnel? Maybe there's a hole that we are dropping into. By that we get to the end of the, we just drop into that hole because because I don't look at Trump. People call Trump they call him bad names.
Who are these some people that you're referring to?
Our leaders now.
That there's light at the end.
No, people are saying that. Some people are saying there's hope.
Who are these
renewed
people?
hope.
Renewed hope.
I don't know where that renewed, that hope of maybe they have renewed our hope into getting, they say waiting now. Don't let me use that prover. Right. Now, so what I'm saying, look at Trump. People call Trump's bad name, but there's something about Trump. He's doing this thing for America. Do you notice? All this thing is doing. You get it? Increasing tariff. He's not doing it to benefit him. Look at it. He's doing it to benefit America, even if he's not getting it right. But he's doing it for Americans. Go and watch. Go and see what he's doing. So here, our own. Who are you doing what you are doing for?
Okay, for example, the EFCC was able to highlight the names of former CEOs, those who personalized, diverted this money to their personal account. Okay, they're investigating 13 former senior executives of the NNPCL. 13 former senior executives. I even believe that there is even more of them, and they wrote separate letters to these individuals. Their names include Abubakar Yarodwa, Melekiari, Isiaka Abdurazak, Umar Ajia, Diko Ahmed, Ibrahim Onoja, Ademoye Jelili, and Mustafa Sugungu. Others are Kayode Adetokumbo, Efyok Akpan, Babatunde Bakre, Jimo Olasukomi, Bello Kakanya, and Desmond Inyama.
Is it Bakare? Is it the same Bakare?
Babatunde Bakare.
Okay, that was
Jimo
today.
Olasukomi, Bello Kakaya, and Desmond Inyama. The EFCC wrote a request letter to them for them to come in for questioning, and they asked the NNPCL to provide certified true copies of the emoluments and allowances of the listed officials, including those who have retired. They are investigating a case of abuse of office and misappropriation of funds in which the underlisted officials of the organization featured. We know that the administration of the president, its fulcrum is not on corruption. But for the president to actually acquiesce, because I think for the EFCC to go straight into this, the president has agreed for them to do something. Now, a couple of Nigerians have said this thing did not start from the onset when Nigerians have been complaining of corruption taking place. That could this be one of the scorecard of the president, or could this be a future that is promising that indeed the president is now doing what needs to be done, tracking those who have eaten the nation's funds and ensuring that they return those funds, and then the economy becomes okay, or somehow a level of alleviation will be experienced. Do you think that's what it is?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I say it's still the old song. It's the old song. They are singing it and we are listening. That's all now. That's what I see. Because you know why? If you go to bank, they put it clearly for everybody to see. If your money is above 5 million, is that not it? That they will report you to EFCC. Whether it's illegal money is illegal money, that they are bound by the law. That's the bank to report you to EFCC. Now, it's now the duty of EFCC to decide whether they want to investigate you or not. Now, for them to send it to EFCC, that means there's a law empowering EFCC to investigate. Even you get it without them going to anywhere. Now, these people we have been talking about, they have been in NNPC for many years.
Yes, yeah.
And banks have been sending the monies that have been, it's money sent to them or money they send away. The bank have been sending it to EFCC, and EFCC have been overlooking it. Is that not what is going on? Is that not what is going on? Because I use the word overlooking it. Because you are now telling us that you are writing letter to them now, as if they got to office last month. Or they've
been investigating and they wanted to be certain on what.
Okay, to be certain for how many years? That's what I'm saying. Even auditor, do you know auditor?
It depends on when the president assents to the
Okay.
investigation process.
Then that is bias, because that means it's bias. If the person, maybe they have enough evidence that the president said don't go, that means they cannot go. That's a selective this thing now. You get the prosecution. That's selective.
You know that there's how this thing goes. The EFCC does their background check, their own investigation. They either send it to the House of Rep or Committee on Fraud or Misappropriation, or to the president. Now, if the president is very busy, it's not everything that comes to his table immediately. So possibly it's when the president has taken a look at it and then he's able to say, you know what, permission, please go ahead, do your thing. Maybe that is what
I do agree with you.
Okay, all right.
I do agree. So you want to tell me that police now, you get it, to arrest somebody, they will have to first of all go to court. If you have enough evidence, you will not go and arrest that person.
An ordinary individual, yes.
Okay, thank you. You use an ordinary individual. Yes. We are the ordinary individual.
An ordinary individual, yes. But if it is like any rich person or political elite, is exempted. So what happened?
That is, we have two Nigerians now.
No, it has always been obvious.
No, we have two Nigerians.
Because I even wrote a letter to them. I even mentioned the case of Sadia Umar Farouk and Betta Edu, where they wrote to her. She kept the EFCC officials for more than 24 hours, and then later told them that she was ill, but she did not even communicate as to why she did not respond to their letter of invitation. And up to now, we don't know what has happened. The only thing I think I heard some whispers then that she she's refunding some of the money. Maybe there's an agreement for her to refund the money if she doesn't want to go through trial or whatever.
Yeah.
But my issue is, for example, why is the method of justice not applied across board? If you want to fight something, why do you fight it aggressively in one hand and less aggressive in another hand?
Not even less. We don't even go to that side.
No, because see what happened with Very Dark Man. You have whatever it is against him, fine, no problem. Did you write a letter to invite him and he declined or he refused? That you took him as if no, he's a terrorist, and you kept him in your custody? Is that how it goes? But you had a Yahaya Bello whom you had all the evidence to prove against him. It's just that you want to take him to court. You promised him that there was no need for him to shy from the media. He could come into your office and one of their top EFCC personnel would be the one to interrogate him. You were ready to give him that ambience, that special treatment.
He even came. They let him go. He came at a point. They just let him go.
Do you understand that? That is the worrisome thing. Even these individuals that they have traced their accounts, they've mentioned their names, they wrote a letter to them and they're inviting them. Those former top executives of the NNPC, oh yes, they wrote a letter to them and then they're asking them to come. An ordinary individual, they will go break your door in the midnight. They may even injure you in the process, harass your family members, break your item, distort your home, and they will not pay you anything. They will destroy your phone. I really need to understand how this works. Until you have a certain political connection, that you will be isolated from certain angles or aspects of the law.
You'll be given special preference.
I don't understand.
That's why I said we have. I keep saying it. We have two Nigeria. You get it? There's Nigeria for the rich. You get in Nigeria, and then we have the Nigeria for the masses in Nigeria. So we are operating two constitution. The constitution that will catch the ordinary Nigerian. You thief. Even if you steal 1 cup of rice, you go to 2 years, 5 years imprisonment. But if you steal like maybe 50 billion, you get in. The worst is that you go to plea bargain. After that 50 million, they will tell you eventually if the pressure is too much, you will tell to go and pay. Okay, let's negotiate 50 billion. How much are you going to pay out of it? Pay 10%.
All right, Mr. Lawal Ekunday, we need to get phone calls. Let's look at what is going on in the Labour Party. There's a wave of defection from the PDP, Labour Party to the APC. A very close ally of Peter Obi has actually defected, or not defected actually, has left the Labour Party. But it doesn't mean that he's not still part of the obedient movement. Just early this last month, towards the end of last month, we saw some images of obedient movement membership card. We don't know what that means. If they are trying to sanitize the movement, if they're trying to make the movement more organized, more respectable, if they're trying to form a political party, we don't know yet. But we saw some images of membership cards and all of that. Meanwhile, during a recent interview with Arise TV, obviously you saw that interview with Rufai Seni, Alex Otti gave the confidence that the Labour Party, he's still in the Labour Party and they're still the ones at the leadership of it. But Julius Abure is saying something else entirely and called Alex Otti a couple of degrading names. And there were some pointers he made. He said that they gave somebody a ticket and the person who couldn't control the affairs of the party, organize the affairs of the party, how does that person want to control things at the national level, at the federal level, that is become the president of Nigeria, if you couldn't handle the issues within your party? I'm sure you know who he's referring to. He's referring to Peter Obi. So how do you think, because we've not heard Peter Obi speak ever since the Supreme Court gave his judgment, they went to submit the CTC copy to INEC and all that stuff. INEC said that, okay, they'll be transparent in the process. INEC has not told us anything. They have not also updated their status on the website. Julius Abure's name is still the name written on the website there as Labour Party chairman. And so he organized a press conference to react to some of the things being said about some certain elements in the party. And they also claim that disciplinary measures will be meted out on individuals they consider to have erred the party constitution. So the question now is, where does this leave Peter Obi? Where does this leave Alex Otti if Julius Abure is still acting and conducting as the Labour Party chairman? Where does this also leave the integrity of the Labour Party?
You know one thing, I think is a wise decision.
Okay.
To me, that Peter Obi did not say anything.
You think so?
Yes, because they are waiting for him to say something and then they twist it like You get it? They twist it here and there, and they twist it in such a way that the man will have to come and begin to defend himself on all angles. So if you are quiet, after all, there's nothing to defend. You get it? So it's good as it's quiet. It's a tact. It makes sense.
Does this mean that Peter Obi is very eminent that he will leave the Labour Party? There have been advice for him not to leave, but with what is going on with the statement Julius Abure just made, because I think last 2 months Julius Abure said, we thought they had reconciled, and they said, okay, fine, Peter Obi has an automatic ticket in 2027. Initially, they had said they will make their elections, primary elections, plain. Anyone who wants to contest, we need to buy form. Then later they told us that, okay, no worries, maybe there were some reconciliation efforts taking place, and they said, okay, you know what, let's come together. Peter Obi, you will still be given the automatic ticket. Now, with the way he sounded and the kind of disparaging comments he made in that press conference, what does that tell you? And if Peter Obi is mute till when? Because like I told you last week, that the APC is working hard. They are working hard. They are working as if they are the opposition. Why are the opposition confused and in disarray?
See, what you are saying, there's a proverb. It says, a popular person, you get it, generates more attention than an unpopular person. So a popular person generates both positive and negative attention, generates friends and enemies, generates deceivers and innocent people. You get, because they see you as very popular, and then there are so many people who have different agendas towards you that surround you. So you have to be very calm. You have to be very, decisive, and you have to watch what you say, because of the caliber of people that are around you and the caliber of person that you are. You get. Now, what I'm suspecting in this whole labor thing is that, Peter Obi needs a ticket. He needs a ticket to be able to contest. Now,
he needs a ticket, or he needs a platform? No,
yes, he needs a platform. That's when I buy a ticket. That platform, they will have to, make him the aspirant. That's what I mean. He needs a ticket. Now, what they want to do is they will create a faction, as they have created now. So when they create this faction will say he prefer Obi. This faction will say no, he prefers somebody else. This faction will say no, he prefer this. You get it? So they will now use that as an opportunity. You get it? To create maybe a disqualification for that party, in such that no candidate will come out of that party. You get it? Because you now have this faction wants to do its own primary. This one will do his own primary separately. This one will go and do his own primary separately. This one will say, no, INEC, this is my own. This one will say, INEC, no, this is my own. This one will say, no, INEC, this is my own. By the time they now go to court and they get to Supreme, by the time you are going to court, maybe they will have taken that election at that time. And INEC will not recognize any of your candidates from your candidate. So
you're saying this as a strategy?
Yes. Well, you get it. Second, you may get to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will say, no, it will pick a side. You get it? And they pick a less. So
if that is the case, why now is he with the Labour Party?
That is why, you see, I like another strategy. You get it? That the disobedience are doing.
Okay.
They are registering. You get it? They are registering to see their popularity, and then they can form make it a party. Or they can move.
But towards the end of this year, INEC will come up with the will I say guidelines for 2027 elections by the end of this year. So the thing is, I don't know if part of the guidelines, if they will accommodate new political parties. I don't know if they will also permit individual candidacy in the new. That is, I'm talking of the additions to the guidelines. So I don't know that. I don't also know if they're going to permit political parties to merge or a new party entirely. I don't know. I don't know if that is what Peter Obi is waiting for. But if that is the case, is it not going to be too late? You wait till the end of this year, you see the guidelines, you now form what you want to form, when by then you're supposed to have gotten a strong support base mobilized from the grassroots, as the APC is already doing.
Forget it. See, listen to me. You get it? See, Nigerians are wiser. I told you that this is in Nigeria. This is a different Nigeria. People do. I said that. And if you go on the street, you see that this is a different. People, you get it, are wiser than before. You get? So whatever permutation you are doing, whatever people always forget one thing, that there's a higher force that is greater than their own whatever they are doing that can decide the direction of things. You don't know. That's God. Because I believe in God. I've seen things go the way people don't. Even in science, that I am a scientist. You see, sometimes that's why we use the word generalization, because science cannot explain everything. Today they will tell, tomorrow they will tell you that it changes because of new findings. That is what is going on. Something is pressing the button. Now, if, let me say, OB come out with his own strategy now, they will just use INEC to create frustration. They can use, you get it, use INEC guideline to create frustration. So you have to allow sometimes INEC to bring out his own before you take your own. But he has his own plan underground. That's why I believe that the man is being quiet. He has his own plan underground. And then one of it is you are seeing people registering, you get it, as obedient, being organized. You get it? They are being organized. And that is important. Because you can have an exodus into a party that is average, and they welcome you without even without even changing the name of that party. You can have an exodus into that party. That's what happened to Labour now. Was that not it? There's an exodus from PDP into Labour. Do you remember? In 2023 election, there was an exodus from PDP into Labour. That was why Labour was popular, and then they became third. Where was Labour before? Because of that mass exodus. You understand? Now, there can be another mass exodus to another party that's maybe one average party that has a good ideology, and they see the leadership is ready for we have a positive leadership. You see them at the last minute, they will just do exodus into that area, and then before you can do your repermutation, it is too late. That's what happened in Labour now. You get, if they had done that mass exodus at the beginning, they would have find a way to cause a lot of problems. They did it towards the end, and then it worked for them. It worked. So that's what I see. Because Nigerians are wiser now, and they know that some people believe they have written that 2027. You get it? And they too have to find a way to design their own. You see, when God was going to use Moses, he didn't use him with weapons. He used him with his own power. So if God wants to save this country, he will pick somebody, and that person will have that exodus of mass exodus of people, just like the Israelites. And then God will use him to achieve the salvation of this country, because this country needs salvation. It needs saving.
So what do you think caused the arrest of Very Dark Man? You know him as a social media activist, not just someone who talks on social media. He goes out to physically do what he can do. I've had a time when somebody reached out to me to say, please, do you have Very Dark Man's number? I have a particular case. He's the only one that can help me publicize this case to know. And there are a lot of permutations coming up. For example, he's still within the EFCC custody. He has made a couple of claims against the EFCC. God knows they said he has a lot of secrets about this government agents, and that there are some of them who are actually afraid of what he knows because of his brazenness and his boldness to calling out these things. They don't know what he can say. You remember the whole NAPTIP incident that he exposed, and how he was able to help immobilizing that some of them were brought back to the country despite being trafficked to other countries, especially children, underage children. So the Very Dark Man situation has gotten a lot of Nigerians worried. They're worried that, wow, this man has been one that has provided social justice through his platform. He has an NGO account where he possibly uses funds there to help in prosecution of persons, not just prosecution, helping to actively release them whenever they get into the hands of the law and all of that unjustifiably. Exactly. So he helps them get justice. And the way he was taken off, for example, you heard where I played the brother, he was blaming a particular bank for being a strong role in ensuring that Very Dark Man does not leave the premises early enough, and that in fact one of the persons who was Very Dark Man was beaten until when the lawyers came and said, why is this second person still in your detention? What do you have against him? And then they had no choice but to release him. But the guy gave explanations. He said he was beaten as if they were thieves or criminals. They were asking for their phones, the password to their phones, and all of that. And this is not the first time we've had Nigerians complain about the attitude of these officials whenever they come across them. Why is it that hostile? I mean, we've not seen them treat terrorists in such manners. So why that hostility? Why the nature of that kind of arrest? Why is that arresting nature that manner? Why is it in that manner?
It's what we've been saying so far.
No, but why is it in that manner? If you have a court order, if you have evidence, you're taking this person to court. Why beat the person? Why put a, what do you call that? They put a hood on his face. I don't understand.
The question is, what is the purpose of the hood? Is it not the office they are taking him to? Are they taking
him?
Yes,
he's in the office.
That's a kidnap. They
even
now
say that some of the friends, yes, that basically that's how it felt. They say some of the friends said they went to give him food, but they were denied access to him. Some of the friends who went to give him food, that they were denied access to him. There are different permutations anyway. But the problem is this. What kind of secret does he have that some persons are afraid of? Who is behind this? Why don't they let us know who is behind it? Just so that the EFCC is the one. He's within their custody. Exactly. So what happened? They didn't give us details. For example, they wrote letters to some NNPC former bosses, right? And those who are still within or outside the system. They invited them. In this case, did you invite him and the man did not respond to your invitation? That's one. And if that was the case, well, you have obtained a court order to arrest him. Well, arresting him, was it supposed to be in that manner? Did you need to hit him whatsoever? Let's just assume that he was given an invitation and he refused to acquiesce to that invitation. So I would understand that they secured a court order to arrest him wherever it is they can find him. But why that manner to arrest somebody?
Normally, when you give somebody invitation to come and he didn't come, you make it public. Then before you now go after that person, so that if you get it as a warning. That's why we say there are two. We have two Nigeria. You get it? The Nigeria that belongs to the elite, that controls this country and decide where our resources goes, whether to their pocket or abroad, and then the other one is the one of the masses. In which we are being governed like slaves. You get? That's where they govern as slaves, because this same person is tax that the government is collecting from. It's the same tax that is used to pay the salary of these EFCC people. Therefore, he happens to be their boss. So if your boss has an issue, there's a way you get it. You do in a human way, because it has not been officially declared. You get in a competent court. There's no pronouncement on him in a competent court. You went there to apprehend him and you treat him like not even an animal. Like a slave. You cover as if you are taking him beyond your office. Is it not the same office you are taking him to? So why do you hood him? You get, why do you cover his face? Why do you need to beat him up? Did he try to? Was he harmed? Did he try to escape? He was already apprehended by the bank. He was kept inside. You know that revolving door.
Somebody, because according to the information given by those who were with him, the bank deliberately stalled in whatever it was.
And the guy waited. He was there.
Yes, he was.
So was it violent in their place?
Of whatever it was they went there for. I think it has to do with his mom, and that while he was leaving the premises, he got a little bit stuck, but then he came out. When he came out, it was towards the car park that they,
That's what they will say. They will let it because they don't want sin inside the bank. So they will now say they will wait outside.
Yes,
so that he will come out. So that they will now, that is, in fact. And what is big? Did he try to run? Did he brought out any weapon? Did he hit them that they had to beat him? And I don't understand what exactly is going on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get your reaction. It's 7:55 right about now. The number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. 9933, and the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338, 0817 1756 338. That is the number for you to send your messages to, and you can call 08036929933. You're currently listening to the Political Spotlight right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachiko. We're currently streaming live on YouTube. You can join us to be part of the conversation this evening on the Political Spotlight. All right, so we'll take your calls right about now.
Madam Esther, good evening. My name is Julius Ikedial. I'm calling from Irawo.
You're calling from where, sir?
I'm calling from Irawo.
Irawo, okay. Irawo. Please
I greet
go
your
ahead.
guest. All
right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Madam Esther, I've been following you people in this platform. This country. One thing about this country is that we are tired of this country. We are tired of this country. The intimidation on the poor is too much. So what I want to suggest is that the government, they should just help us. We are sick and tired of all the whole intimidation that we are seeing in this country. You can imagine a very dark man, only to go for the bank to ask why somebody remove money from the mother's from the mom account. Finally, now he now see himself in whether
EFCC
custody.
EFCC custody.
It's too annoying. It's too annoying. Please, the government should help us. That's my take.
All right, thank you very much for calling. 08036929933, 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
Yes, my name is Chike. I'm calling from Abapa.
Chike from Akwakwa. Chike, please go ahead.
Yes, talking about the NNPC and the Minister of Petroleum.
Yeah.
You see, people did not remove fuel subsidy because they want.
Chike, this your line is bad. Oh, try and call us back. It's very poor. All right, your connection. Maybe that place where you did. Maybe you shift small. Okay. 08036929933. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Hello.
Yes. Good evening. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Let me call you after calling and answer.
Hello.
I called to enter chapter 2 by 7. Okay, let me go. I think the EFCC should also invite the president. He's the Minister of Petroleum. If you cannot, this thing happening is under his watch. He's the Minister of Petroleum. If his corporate and indolence he should be also be invited because it's not fit to be a minister. And the federal minister and the president. So he should also invite. Then the common election, thank God. The election, like what your guest said, is between Nigeria people and APC. Nigeria and APC. So I see no reason why the people that are making Kaduna, Jos, Plateau, in the southeast, everywhere, will not come out to vote for APC. That's ironic. So forget about this defection. They are decided to break the house. The APC is going to collapse. Let me tell you, it will collapse. The APC and let Nigeria just relax. God will not give us new government responsible. Thank you.
What if APC does not collapse? See, Mr. Lawal Ekunday.
APC will collapse. APC,
say you're causing the party. What did the party do?
You will see later. That's what we will see later. That's what people will do that as usual for better Nigeria by for Abacha. What happened later? So we want to this hunger, this initiative to continue. That's what we're going to collapse later. APC, you see any APC as one of the paracetamol taken by them.
Mr. Lawal Ekunday, is it about the party or the individual? What if it was Professor Yemi Osinbajo?
See.
No, wait. What if it was Professor Yemi Osinbajo that won that primary that most of the officials wanted? Do you think people will be wanting APC to collapse? What I'm asking is it the individual or the political party? Because you can't say all members in the APC are bad people.
See, when one person has a hold on the entire organization,
turn down the volume of your radio.
When one person has a hold on the entire organization, what voice do you think the others have? You get that is the question now. APC is not about it's about one person.
It's about one person.
Yes.
Why? Why will you say that?
Because that's what we've been seeing now. Look at what happened in Lagos State. A old speaker was accused of this corruption, and then he's still
APC now.
That's what I mean.
The majority of the political party in Lagos is APC. Does not mean that it is everywhere. Hello, good evening.
Okay, let your guest.
Hello.
I mean,
good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm fine. Oh, happy Sunday.
Hello? Yeah, I wish you the same. My greeting extend to
Mr. Lawal Ekunday.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Lawal Ekunday.
Yes.
What's your name?
According to the last caller.
Okay.
APC have already collapsed.
What is your name?
Why is campaign in 2027 tonight? One thing that he have done that Nigeria. Esther, I know that you are a journalist. You can see with your eyes, and you are living in Nigeria. You saw everything that is happening. APC have collapsed.
How can they collapse?
They have collapsed already. I'm telling you the truth. Nothing to be right about. Because nothing. People are dying. If I tell you the people that are dying because of hunger in this Nigeria, you will not believe me.
You're right.
And which we have already, you know, because I know that you are defending your job.
Yes, I'm defending my job.
What are we talking about? Look at how everything is. Okay, those in his minister Abiwat, I don't know, advisors,
yes.
Are they not telling what is happening in Nigeria? People are dying because of hunger. People are dying because of terrorists, harassment, this and that.
Did you see the attack that took place I think yesterday or 2 days ago?
Every day we hear it.
No, this one.
Every day people are dying because of harassment, terrorists, this and that everywhere. What are we talking? Please don't say that you are because you are defending your job that you are pretending. Don't pretend. Nigerians are telling you the truth. I hope that 2027 will come and we go to all the states and go and campaign.
We never finish 2025. We just enter May.
You know, in this.
I know, but if people are talking, you will pretending that you don't know what is going on.
Well, I'm not pretending. I'm just saying. If you say the party is done, how come they're experiencing a wave of defections from other political parties?
The same elite that are doing that. You see mass defection from the grassroots or from the masses. Those are the same people who are always.
So those ones who move with their supporters now. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello, good evening.
How do you do?
I am fine. Good evening. What's your name?
Georgine is my name.
You said?
Georgine is my name.
Peace. Your voice is very low.
LPG.
Your voice is very low, sir. Please, I beg, call back, okay? 08036929933, 08036929933, and the WhatsApp number is 0817175633. Turn down the volume of your radio.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir.
Ekunday, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
The reason why Nigeria is like this, it's a country that they govern Nigeria without constitution. Anybody that enters there, he is the constitution by himself. Nigeria cannot, I said it this thing twice, a country that they do not govern by constitution. That is how always, even in the meeting, a meeting that does not govern with constitution
How will that meeting look like? Everybody is doing whatever he likes. People are talking about 2027. If APC want to, they have already win, and we will just shout on the radio. Nothing, no action, nothing. We cannot do anything. Even though Tinubu want to go to stop them, he will do it. We shout over the radio, nothing will happen. Look at many things are happening. You will do what is not right, what is outside the constitution, like this River State Governor Ubara. Everybody shout. Is it in line with the constitution? What do we do? What do we do? Corruption everywhere. People will be eating billions. We shout, and that's all. It will end like that. Nigeria will remain like this. If Tinubu want to be a live president, he will be. We will all shout over the radio, and that is the end.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. 08036929933. 08036929933. That's the number for you to call. And then the WhatsApp number is 0817175638. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mother.
Hello, good evening.
How are you? Good evening. How are you?
I am fine. Can you hear?
How is your
Your voice is very faint, oh.
What I want to say now is this. Bible made us understand that the way of destruction is too wide. I think understand.
Okay.
But as they are running APC, everybody is APC. That is the road to destruction. They don't want to go to, even if how people are suffering, people are dying, they are not here. But what the idea is to pack and put their own belly. They don't know what people are suffering at all. Let them continue. This APC, one day, they will come down. That is it.
All right.
If they want to revive their life to normal way, and look at people that voted there. Let them continue. One day they will have their self to there.
All right. 08036929933. That is the number to call. 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817175638. All right, that's the number. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. What's your name?
Good evening, my dear sister Esther.
How are you, sir? Good evening.
I'm happy. I thank you very much. And the man in the studio with you there.
Yeah, Mr. Lawal.
God will bless you of you.
Thank you.
I know fully well that you are just trying to defend their job. Because if you lose it tomorrow, nobody is going to see you. That they are fighting for Nigeria. That you lose it, nobody will come and feel that they are fighting for Nigeria.
Thank you.
But I thank God. I thank God that all of you know the truth. The journalists know the truth. But you cannot come out open and say this, that. When they wake you up, nobody comes to your rescue. Continue. You are a wise lady.
Thank you.
I heard how you challenged that yesterday. It was very, very hot. You are a strong woman. You are a good woman that stands for Nigeria.
Thank you.
The demon of all Romans is talking. Please, I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you people, we have nothing to do. We're only calling God to come and save us, in Nigeria. The big fish, they have covered the road. But we have to pray for intervention of God to come and save us out of this iniquity. That's not what you can do.
Thank
if
you.
As the man in the studio said, we have two Nigerians. I go with him. The one for the masses and the one for the big people. If you go and see one small thing that they put 2%, nearly 10 years. But they are stealing our money. But you cannot come out for your own mouth there as you are working. You cannot defend it. When they have to get ransom to you, they will come to you. So continue your job. You know the job very well.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. Thank you. All right, the number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. Hello, good evening. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. How are you
I'm
doing
fine.
now? Happy Sunday.
The same to you. My greetings to Lawal Ekunday.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
What's your name,
Good
sir?
evening, my name is Mazi Okeke, calling you from Lagos State.
All right, Mazi, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. You see, Nigeria's election in 2027 will be between APC and Nigerians. We all knows what is going on in Nigeria today. We all knows what is going on in Nigeria today. Forget about the defection from one party to APC. Everywhere APC. How many of them are in numbers? There are not more than Nigerians. There are very few in numbers. The only thing is that people are losing hope to vote because vote doesn't count. But if people can come out to vote, who are there? They cannot even near to rig that election. So the only thing I'm telling you is that 2027 is between APC and Nigerians. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
We all know what is going on in Nigeria today. There is hunger in the land. People are dying, killings here and there. They don't obey court order. You understand? They know who are those bandits and terrorists. Boko Haram, they know them. Their hands are there. So by the year 2027, APC will go down. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, good
evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well done, Oga. What's your name?
Mr. Ekunday. I send my greeting to him.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Yes. My name is Chukwemeka, current from Abaranje.
All right. From Abaranje. Okay.
Yes.
How is Abaranje today?
Abaranje, Kotu.
Oh, I thought I was how is it today? Because we know the person that always comes from there.
All right. Everybody is fine.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So what I'm trying to say that since even the APC are trying to break other parties, as they are breaking the other party, they are affecting them. Because like citizens, they didn't break the heart of the citizens. So if they are feeling that when they break the party, that's where they achieve what they want. The citizens know the right thing to do. And come to the one of P2V, it's better for P2V not to even say anything. Because it's just like the government are targeting him for him to say something from there. We say he said this, he said that. So we believe that the God will fight for the masses. He raised the back against all the masses, against all the enemy of the masses. So God will help us. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for calling. 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Even this what they do now. Hello?
Hello, Oga.
Good evening.
Expose your secrets. Good evening. How are you?
Fine, Esther. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Happy Sunday.
The same to you. Mr. Ekunday. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
God bless you.
Yeah, email.
You see, what I wanted to say about this.
Now, you don't tell us your name.
Okay, my name is Gabriel from Satellite.
All right, Gabriel, go ahead.
You see, the political system of this country as at now should not put anybody into fear. You see, whatever God has written is what will happen. Let me tell you, anybody that is doing temptation at this time, politics have not started. When you see a popular person on a ring, let's say in a boxing ring, you see somebody whom everybody knows that he will win the tournament, the fight. The opponent will be doing everything to put fear into him. But people knows that this is the man going to win the boxing competition. So in that case, sometimes I will tell you people about this thing. It is not today we begin to see politics in Nigeria. During 1960, it was like this. At the end of the day, one person took the whole thing. In 1989, or 1978 in 79 during Shagari. It was like this. Zika, Wolowo, Grigri, Shagari take the whole thing. It is the same way we saw it even during Obasanjo and other people. Everybody made so many attempts. At the end of the day, PDP won the election. The same way it comes to APC in 2015. The same way, look at what happened in 2023. The first ever in Nigeria population that voted as a result of a 2023 election. The same population you saw in 2023, you are going to see triple times of it in 2027. Because like what Mr. Ekunday said, Nigerians are wise. Nigerians are wise. Invariably, if you do good, if you are good before the people, people will vote for you. Exactly. If you are not good before the people, people will not vote for you. Exactly. And I want to tell you that the temptation at this time should not fear anybody. Nobody should be afraid of what is going on now. Until when campaign is declared open, you see what will happen. You will see that the grammar politics will start. And so that is what I want to say. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel, for calling. Okay, let me take some messages right about now. I'm going to start off on YouTube. I'm going to start off with little mistakes. Little mistakes. You said, Esther, there is a saying, when vultures surround you, try not to die. Peter Obi is trying not to die. He is educated and wise. Nigerians have been brainwashed to believe that suffering is good. Nigeria will be great again when the people stop hoping for someone to redeem them and put their hands together to help one another and fight the corruption in the land. I hate it when people hope on God. Why? I hate it when people hope on God to redeem them, even the people who, your messages are popping up. Okay, I hate it when people hope on God to redeem them, even the people who practice their religion, fighting with Palestinians for killing their people. If there were Nigerians, na IDP camp before day. All right, I think this is all the messages I have on YouTube this evening for now. So going on to WhatsApp, I'm starting off with Chairman from Agbara. If it is true that EFCC is doing something like investigating NNPC, we're waiting to the results because oil have been mismanaged under Military a great deal. NNPC is selling Nigerian crude and they're borrowing billions of dollars under Military. Currently, Nigerians are suffering from mismanagement of scarce resources. Chairman from Agbara. All right, Chimera, well done. Thank you for your message. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too. Labour Party should have arrested Julius Abure when they were having the meeting at the Secretariat since he has been removed. But will police go after them? Because the powers at the top is using Abure against Peter Obi. But I see the last kick of a dying horse. Peter Obi will outsmart them from Chief Udo. All right. If it is true. All right. Somebody also said, since Tinubu's government enter into power, that they say our suffering increase. You remove subsidy, you still pay for subsidy. A lot. Nigerians don't tire. God help us. May God help Nigerians. I'm ashamed to be called a Nigerian man. Don't be ashamed though. Be proud. Are you listening? Be proud to be Nigerian. You're not them. You're not like the bad or corrupt people. So don't say you're ashamed to be called a Nigerian. Okay. Arresting VDM for complaining about missing money in his mother's account. How did Nigeria end up with democracy of corruption everywhere you turn to? Fashula Emmanuel from Ikotu. All right. Good evening, crew. Good evening to you. Like Delivery Timmy said, you can't bribe your way into power and expect development. It can't happen. This government is like a student who didn't read for exams. When exams come, he borrowed someone to sit for him. After he passed, when he was to come and defend his certificate through interview, he selects someone to come and stand for him. This is what your president did in Chatham House when he appointed Al Rufai and Bayo Onanuga over the question of security and other sectors. The president couldn't answer questions. No certificate, no competency, only lies, excuses, eye service and propaganda. That is why we are in this nightmare. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. This is Dio from Fagba, Lagos. All right, Dio. Thank you for your message. Okay, so this person says, I thought City Boy was a strong man. Go and listen to what Balazaka, an energy expert, said on Arise TV interview about fuel subsidy on YouTube. A whole City Boy shying away from every strong issue, always following an easy way out on every issue, and that easy way is always to the detriment of the masses. Check all the policies. There are records how those subsidies monies were embezzled. Those people are out there. They are humans like us, but our government is pretending to be asleep while people are dying. No good hospital, no electricity, and a lot of insecurity. We are too far away from home. Agunwa from Banana Island. Okay, Agunwa, well done. And this person says, beautiful evening to you, Esther. Beautiful evening to you too. And Mr. Lawal, can you believe that till today, federal pensioners have not been paid? When we asked our pension manager, he said Tinubu has not given them instruction to pay us, which was not like that during the last administration. Oshunwao, Father Ajibodu Alagbado. What's the meaning of Osunwao? Is it
Osuwa?
Osuwa.
That we are tired of it. We are tired.
Yeah, sorry.
Of everything.
I believe everything is in process.
And it's an old man. That man,
yes.
because he's a pensioner. That's what he's saying, that they have not collected their pension. That's what the man is saying.
Babak, is it possible to tell us how they paid? Like, is it every month? What time of the month do they pay you? Is it monthly, or is it after 3 months? Is it quarterly? I would like to know, please. Okay, just send me a message so we know. Maybe they do it like batches. They have their processing for these things, so we now know maybe it's a processing that is taking place, because they have all these bureaucratic steps to the protocols. Remember the Alawi for core members. So they said that there are some bureaucratic bottlenecks in the discharge of that payment. If you remember why it took long before they paid, so maybe this is one of those things.
You know, this man saying this now. You know, that he said it wasn't like that before. That means there's a break in protocol now. It's already there. They already have it that way. Then there's a break. So that's why he's saying that. Because he mentioned about, he's making reference to last administration.
Good evening, Esther Machuka, my good analytical Ekunday. Yes, in the aspect of Abure, complaints and derogatory statement against Alex Toti and Peter Obi, forget about it. We know psychopaths like them indirectly taking part with the APC to obstruct and distract Peter Obi in the forthcoming presidential election, just as Wike is doing for PDP, understand? Just as the adage goes, the insect eating the yam is inside the yam. My advice to Peter Obi, never give in to any criticism, just doing his observation strategies and permutations with the obedient movement, and all the hungry and angry Nigerians who want a better governance in 2027 election, and take all the opposition counterparts on a surprise. Okay. Good evening, Esther and guests in the studio. My country, Nigeria, is already a theater of absurdity, and we can see everything stage managed by this administration. Please, this government is building castles in the air. It is clear they have cashed in on our docility. Where do we go from here? We have been enslaved in our empire. Who will deliver us? Patient man from Ikorodu. Good evening, news lady and the analyst, Engineer Salako Kazim from Ogun State. I agree, 2027 is between Nigeria and APC. Governor's defection effect is likely to recruit the thugs in their respective state to torment the masses in favor of APC. The man there doesn't care where it leads. He's not concerned, and he's doing everything to sink Nigeria by all means. Good evening, Esther. A very dark man name is in their black book. He was advised to apologize to Senate President. He refused. Instead, he made jest of him. Do you remember what happened to Parotimi after he published his book? So how do you expect very dark man to move freely in this country when he's against APC? Christian from Shasha. Esther Wachuka and Mr. Lawal, I greet you democratically. I want to speak on the forthcoming local government elections in Lagos. Why do we keep referring to local government elections as election when the outcome can be determined correctly before the start of the exercise? It's just like seeing the exam questions and the answers before writing the exam. To me, local government election is just a selection or just fulfilling all righteousness. Left to me, they are wasting money and time. Like the governors, let the governors not bother themselves wasting resources. They should just appoint local government area chairman. For the 2027 presidential election, I want to say that Atiku is eminently qualified to run for as many times as he wants. It is his right. I encourage him to keep trying, even though I wouldn't vote for him. I just registered my membership on the recently launched Obedience portal. I know that the APC would win the 2027 presidential election for obvious reasons, but people like us who have never voted for the APC for once will continue to vote our conscience. Esther, people should understand that you are a journalist and that you are not meant to take sides on air. They should stop asking you questions that makes it look as if you are political. James Ogbonna from Oshodi. James Ogbonna, Thank you very much.
Please,
Thank you
can I
for
say
understanding.
something?
Yes.
Okay, just 1 minute. See, that's why we keep saying something about INEC. That this country is not free. Look at that local government election. That's local government election. The governors cannot even, they are not democratic. The INEC, the election in their state is not free.
All right. Good evening, Esther and Barrister. He's not a barrister. He's a political and social affairs commentator.
And a teacher.
And he's also a teacher by profession. How can we explain this Labour Party problem, and what does their constitution of Labour Party say about chairmanship tenure, and why is Abure sitting tight just to destabilize Labour Party and INEC? It's not making it easy for them. Mr. Igwe from Ijegun. Thank you, Mr. Igwe. Good evening, Esther and your guest. I am really impressed with the words of your guest this evening. He said it as a man of integrity. Peter Obi's silence is an evidence of a good leader. He is not a man of many words. He knows what to do when time comes. No man that loves this country can vote for this present leader of this country. Abure is working for his paymasters, but Peter Obi is smarter than him. With time, an egg will work. God bless you for the good work you are doing. I'm Bro Chika Obodo from Oshodi. Well done. Thank you so much, sir. Evening, Esther and guest. Master strategies, subsidies gone, economic disaster. Nation is now a gangster paradise. Highest out of school children in the world. Poverty capital of the world. More than 7.2 million private and public companies shut down. Highest doctor and other professionals jackpot. No infrastructure, no development. Master strategy that cannot afford, that cannot attend debate for its certificate Oga Dayo. Dayo.
Dayo.
Okay.
Like my name.
Now, wow. Greetings, Esther, Mr. Ekunday. When the wicked are in power, this is what the masses are. They should wait for the Nigerians in 2027. For EFCC, let them continue with their eye service work. Derek Ugochukwu from Ajegunle. All right, Derek, thank you very much for your message. Thank you so much. We need to wrap up right about now. As a defection the politicians are doing today is not going to be the problem of the citizens, because those people defecting are not doing it for the interest of Nigerians. I remembered what happened during PDP's time when politicians defected in mass and PDP spent heavily, but Nigerians voted them out. That is what will happen to APC in 2027. Okay, you did not Chair Mary from Agbara. All right, Mr. Lawal Ekunday, in a few seconds. What do you have to say? We need to go now.
We are here to speak the truth. You get it? We are speaking the truth. We are speaking the truth about the nation, the way forward. You get, and we are enlightening the people.
Okay.
So we are teachers here. We are reading. We are studying the textbook, and we are explaining it. That's what we do. Right. We are not here for political reasons or whatever, or siding any political party. We are telling the truth, and then we are giving directions to Nigerians, and enlightening them. That's what we are here for.
Thank you very much. We need to go now. Good evening to all of you. So sorry I cannot take some of your messages or calls. We need to wrap up. Somebody said some people are gathering at the right spot for thunder to properly fire them together. This is from Chief Udo. Mekuna did. Okay, I think Baba has responded. He said, thank you, Esther, Mr. Lawal, with the interpretation of Oshunwa means we're tired of everything around us. Don't worry, it will be well. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to go now. My name is Esther Wachiko. See you tomorrow. Have yourself a beautiful Sunday evening.
Broadcasting live from the Cocoa News Center, giving you the latest updates around the globe. This is
VOP 90.3 FM.
My guy, you better upgrade yourself and live in the city like a big boy.
That's the life of a city boy.
Even if you don't want to stay outside, YouTube is always there for you, you know.
I know, but no be every time person go dey open eye for YouTube, Instagram, Facebook because of update.
My guy, don't worry yourself. Tune to Voice of the People's Radio, VOP 90.3 FM. Listen to a radio station that keeps you up to date with the current news and talk shows, as well as business programs.
How to find good business ideas in Nigeria.
Listen and learn.
6 powerful strategies for discovering opportunities to make money in the Nigerian market.
Contribute and let's make a better society together.
I think it's the best for us in Nigeria. Actually, we are going to find it difficult for the first time, but in future we are going to gain it. If we can be able to be patient with it, it's the best.
Voice of the People's Radio, VOP 90.3 FM.
Tune in every day.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM.
We are Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Now you have a voice.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM.
A new dawn, a new story from the station that keeps you informed. Breaking news, fresh from the scene.
We have a lot all over the country who have been shouting and saying no, because we know that that's a very faulty direction that the present government is trying to do.
We tell it as it unfolds, keeping you strapped to the edge of your seat as we dissect and discuss the issues that affect you.
Wike just wants to use this ceasefire to buy time. That's what he wants to do.
And the agreement to me was a disgrace to democracy.
Tune in to the world news every day at 12 and 6 p.m. Timely news just for you on Voice of the People 90.3 FM.
Broadcasting live from the Cocoa News Center, giving you the latest updates around the globe. This is
VOP 90.3 FM.
My guy, you better upgrade yourself and live in the city like a big boy.
That's the life of a city boy.
Even if you don't want to stay outside, YouTube is always there for you, you know.
I know, but no be every time person go dey open eye for YouTube, Instagram, Facebook because of update.
My guy, don't worry yourself. Tune to Voice of the People's Radio, VOP 90.3 FM. Listen to a radio station that keeps you up to date with the current news and talk shows, as well as business programs.
How to find good business ideas in Nigeria.
Listen and learn.
6 powerful strategies for discovering opportunities to make money in the Nigerian market.
Contribute and let's make a better society together.
I think it's the best for us in Nigeria. Actually, we are going to find it difficult for the first time, but in future we are going to gain it. If we can be able to be patient with it, it's the best.
Voice of the People's Radio, VOP 90.3 FM.
Tune in every